troubles don't just go away, and the attorney that you choose is your most important decision. Attorney Jocelyn Sandifer practices in Missouri and Illinois. Her law firm handles criminal defense, whether federal or state, family and domestic law, personal injury, and workman's compensation cases. Call attorney Jocelyn Sandifer at 618-489-1234. That's 618-489-1234. Don't just get an attorney, make a friend. Legal troubles don't just go away, and the attorney that you choose is your most important decision.
Outside of St. Paul Baptist Church with another report on all of our cops, and we're here because people have gathered about what they consider to be the unjust killing of Terry Tillman by a police officer. And we have with us here today whom?
Willie Boyd.
Mr. Willie Boyd. Mr. Boyd, would you tell us why are you here today, Mr. Boyd?
Well, the reason that I'm here is I've been involved with this situation for over 2 months now. I've seen the video, and I've been able to critique the video, and I've seen up close this officer putting on his gloves, going to the SUV, taking the gun out the truck, and marching it up to the crime scene. So, if he's not an investigative agency dealing with homicide, I don't see why he would have the gun in his possession.
And in most cases, when there's a shooting involving a cop, another agency comes in and does that. They secure the scene, they do the investigation. They normally don't even let the same department do the investigation. So you're saying these were officers of that same department that were moving the evidence, moved the gun?
Well, you can see that he was a sergeant. So I would think that he was just a sergeant over the patrol officers, and that he wasn't part of no homicide team that would be doing the investigation of a homicide crime scene.
Okay, now, I have done 22 years as a cop. I've been around shootings, and I have seen other cops move guns and so forth. And so that doesn't necessarily bother me, but it doesn't make it clear. Because I also know that there was a rumor as cops that you keep yourself a weapon in case you accidentally shoot some wrong person. So I know that mindset of carrying a gun is out there, and this could have been something that could have been a setup against this young man. That's why, as an ex-cop, I take the stand that I do, because I know that there are situations that substantiate the need for further investigation, because some cops do wrong. Some cops do plant. Down in Alabama, there's 1,000 black men right now that have been proven by other cops. White cops got tired of it, came to the forefront and said that over 1,000 black men have been put in jail and that were innocent, and the prosecutor knew it. So we all know that happens. What is your biggest concern about this case?
My biggest concern is that it goes on too often.
His friends right here. Who do we have here?
My name is Devin Morgan. I was one of Terry's best friends, really close to him since childhood. We grew up together in the same neighborhood.
How do you feel about what has happened to Terry Tillman?
It's not right. It's not right at all. Terry, I mean, the only thing I can really say about it, Terry was a really good person. He ran because he did not want to be, he ran because he did not trust it. I know Terry, like, he ran because he was not gonna even try and go there with the police. He was not letting them put him in handcuffs, none of that. He just wanted to get out of there because he knew exactly what they were gonna do, and they already did it. They did it anyway. He was sure he was trying to run.
What kind of person was Terry? You knew him personally. What kind was he really? Was he this thug, or was he a comedian? He wasn't a thug, he wasn't a bad guy.
No,
what would
he
you
was
call
just
him?
really funny. He was just really funny, and a lot of people didn't like him because of the fact that he was known by a lot of people, which is why people didn't like him, and that's why he had the gun on him. It's for protection. It wasn't to hurt nobody. It's because a lot of people didn't like him because he's well known.
To your knowledge, did Terry Tillman have a concealed carry license? Well, here in St. Louis, he didn't really need it, did he?
Yeah, no, he didn't
need it. Okay. So he was in legal possession of the firearm, right?
Yeah, from what I understand.
Okay. What do you think would have stopped this from happening?
To be honest, I Honestly, I have no idea.
You think the cop had something against him from even before? You think they may have been...
Definitely.
Yeah. Like what? Why? What makes you think that?
Because it's Terry. He's a big black guy with a big gun. And I mean, of course they're scared of him. Of course they're going to do that to him. That's exactly why he ran. I've known Terry for a long time. He's done it times before that, but I guess this time they...
Okay. You're a young white guy. Do you think that the police are targeting black men and women?
Definitely. I see it every day, up and down. I go up and down all my social media. I see it every day.
Every day. Brother, let me speak to you for a minute.
Sure.
You a friend? How did you know Terry Tillman?
Met Terry.
Come a little closer.
Met Terry moving out of my mother's house, my first bachelor pad when I lived on my own. Met him. He's a very close friend and would always come over. At first, I really didn't know him, but he stuck around. Ever since, we just been close. You know, he would check up on me, go out of his way to ask how am I doing.
Had Terry ever had any trouble with the police, to your knowledge?
None, not whatsoever. I know he was on probation for obviously teenage, like we were all kids once. But no, we did not know that. I didn't know that, neither did the police at the time of the shooting.
Okay. What would you want the public to know about your friend that was shot by the police and killed?
I would want the public to know that Terry was an outstanding individual. Sad to say, as an African American, that was his only down fact, that he is an African American in this day and age, and that is what killed him. There was a lot of stories that was told, a lot of sceneries that was explained for Terry. How I see it is Terry, yes, he had a fire on him. Was he doing anything illegal or criminal act? No. I feel that he was in fear of his life. If you, as a black man, see a police officer with his gun already drawn, yelling at you, your first instinct is to run. You're scared for your life. I feel like that cop knew he was not going to catch him, and you were in the heat of the moment, and you knew you weren't going to catch him, and this man just made you run.
Let me ask you this. What do you think police ought to do differently?
I mean, you guys are trained. There's so much training. I'm not a cop. I've never been a cop. I don't have any experience in that field, but I feel like there's so much training that you guys go through to treat those situations according to the training. There could have been multiple things that you could have done besides just draw your firearm and shoot him.
Okay. Got another friend here. Give him your name, please.
My name is Gary Morgan.
Come up here. Yeah.
My name is Gary Morgan. I've known Terry for years. I've known him since I was 11. I'm 22 and he was 23, and we grew up in the same neighborhood. I love him like a brother. I didn't see him much lately because I've been gone, but he was never on that type of time.
How do you feel about the fact that he was shot and killed by the police?
I feel that's unfair to him and everybody that loves him. Everybody.
What needs to be changed?
Stop shooting people. If their back's to you or if they're running away from you, what is you shooting them for? They're running away. They're not running at you. It don't make sense to shoot somebody that's
He didn't even have a gun.
trying to get away. Yeah, he threw his gun.
If you were a police officer, if you were in charge of the police, what would you tell your officers to do differently?
I don't know. I ain't got nothing to do with no police.
All right, so you feel that he was shot unjustly, and what else would you like to say about the shooting of Terry Tillman?
Nothing else.
Are white police officers, in your opinion, targeting black people? You say yes.
I see it all the time.
You see it all the time.
That's my little brother.
That's your brother.
Yeah, I see it all the time.
Thanks a lot for your interview.
Legal troubles don't just go away, and the attorney that you choose is your most important decision. Attorney Jocelyn Sandifer practices in Missouri and Illinois. Her law firm handles criminal defense, whether federal or state, family and domestic law, personal injury, and workman's compensation cases. Call attorney Jocelyn Sandifer at 618-489-1234. That's 618-489-1234. Don't just get an attorney, make a friend. Legal troubles don't just go away, and the attorney that you choose is your most important decision. When the subject around your house is appliances, whether it's repair or purchase, you can't beat Crutcher Appliance, a family-owned minority business for over 40 years. Whether deciding to purchase or repair appliances, call Crutcher Appliance. Get quality appliances at low prices with a 90-day guarantee. Call 618-397-1783. That's 618-397-1783.
Again, we're outside here, outside of St. Paul Church, where they're having a gathering about the shooting of Terry Tillman by police officers. And we've got one of his friends here. What would you like to say? First of all, who are you?
My name is Skylar Morris. I was a really good friend of Terry. I grew up with him, and I seen him all the time. Like, anytime he needed something, he would call me. Anytime he needed somewhere to go, he would call me. I don't know how many times he would come to my house at night whenever he had nowhere else to go. I have messages between him telling me his birthday. Whenever I was out of town, he'd even go check on my mom whenever I wasn't home. He was a really good person in general. Like, he wouldn't harm anybody that, in general, like, he wasn't that kind of person. He was a good guy.
Why do you think he was shot and killed?
I think that the police just profiled him as another black male with tattoos and a gun that was up to no good, but really what he was trying to do was meet his baby mama at the mall so he could go shopping. And then the security broke the law by chasing him in general. You're not allowed to chase a man out of the mall in general as a security guard or a cop. And second of all, it's proof in that video that he did not even have the gun on him whenever they shot him. So one, they had to have known that he threw his gun. So why are you shooting him if he doesn't have it with him in the first place?
Okay, let me ask you about the personality again. The personality of Terry Tillman.
Mm-hmm.
Was he a bad guy? Was he a street runner? Was he a troublemaker? What would you say?
No, he minded his own business. The only time he had a problem with anybody is if they started something with him in general. Like, he doesn't go around picking on people or anything like that. He was kind of the person that supported those who were being bullied. Like, I've seen him actually. There's a lot of people that had got into fights after he died because he was protecting them.
Why do you think the police targeted him, or do you think they did at all?
I think it was not the whole police force in general, but it was that cop specifically. Those two.
Had
cops
he had an
specifically.
interaction with that cop in the past?
No. How many times does somebody have to die?
Okay. Do you think that white police officers are targeting black people?
Yes. Yes, I do, and I'm a white person myself.
Are you tired of it?
I am.
What do you think people ought to do about it?
Actually do something. Like, if you guys want the police force to change, maybe try actually becoming a police officer and being a good one. You know what I'm saying? Or one of the good cops that didn't do it, step up and actually say something was wrong and don't cover it up next time. Step up and say, hey, this guy I work with did not do his job right, and I'm going to say something about it. You know what I mean? There's nothing we can do about it unless the good cops actually be good cops and speak on the stuff.
Thank you very much. We're here again at St. Paul Church, where they're having a rally in reference to the shooting and the killing of Terry Tillman. With us today, we have two of his sisters. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
I'm Rachel Jones. And I'm Kamisha McDowell.
Rachel, what would you all like the people to know about your brother?
We want you to know that he was a very loving, prominent figure in our lives. And we also want you to know that they not only took him away from us, they took him away from babies that ask about him every day. They took him away from kids that don't understand. They took him away from actually kids that do understand what happened, that makes them so terrified of the police that is our weapon against them now. They're terrified of the police. If we tell them we're calling the police, they instantly cry.
Mm-hmm. So I guess the children ought to want to have the police to come. They should want a healthy relationship with the police. They're afraid of the police.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. What do you think the police can do to change that?
Start doing more stuff with the community. Start making you remember, when I was younger, I remember the police passing out stickers, bump pops. I remember the police stopping by, playing basketball sometimes or two. You would catch them in the street actually being involved with the community. You cannot relate to a person that you don't see.
So they need to come sometimes after they get off duty.
Yes. Spend some time with us.
Yeah, because when they're on duty, they have to kind of stay ready to run. All right, so that would make you feel better.
Yes.
All right, would you recommend that your children be police officers?
No.
Do you like police?
No.
Is there any police that you like?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
it's not all bad cops.
There you go.
And
I've had relationships with other police officers. I'm not going to speak their name, but I have a relationship with police officers. Actually, my two youngest children's goddad is a police officer.
For what city?
City of St. Louis.
St. Louis. Okay.
He's a police officer. So I'm not saying that all police are bad.
Or that we hate all
but
police.
you have to make everybody accountable if they're going to back up the wrongdoings of one police officer. That means you should be held accountable as if they did it also.
Right.
What about this case bothers you the most?
That they're not giving us answers. They're not treating this like if one of their cops got killed. The information would have been released the same day.
What bothers me is I feel like that they could have saved my brother's life. I feel like my brother was not dead when they told the ambulance not to give him help, or when they did not perform life-saving measures. I feel like my brother wasn't dead.
It is alleged that the police officer placed a gun that your brother did not have. Do you believe that?
Yes.
Yes, 100%.
Did your brother have a gun?
Yes, I believe. I'm not going to say that it was a gun that he did not have. I'm going to say it was a gun that was dropped in the Galleria.
Right.
That they picked it up and brought it to where they wanted to be, and brought it back to the crime scene, so
and
they
then
can
took
say
it to the body.
So they can say that he pointed it. They brought it back. What they did was they used the evidence in places so that it was okay with their story to fit their story and not the true story. Because in all actuality, once he dropped that gun, the Galleria was supposed to be shut down, the money was supposed to be stopped, and it's supposed to be taped off as a crime scene.
Exactly.
Okay, so a lot of people are very upset. You're obviously upset. What do you want the public to do at this point?
Stand with us.
Stand with us.
The film that we're here to see. There is a film that shows one of the officers bringing something that looks like a gun and bringing it back to the scene. How do you feel about that information and that it hasn't been really released?
Well, I knew it was out here before they knew it. I mean, before it got out, I knew it was out here.
Do the police have it at this point?
No, they don't. They don't want to see it.
They don't, and you're willing to present it to them, but they don't want evidence?
They don't want to crucify their officer.
And what is your attorney saying about that?
My attorney is working on it. He has to do the same thing that they have to do. He has to do his investigation to get his evidence, but he's working on it.
What do you want the people to do? The public's going to hear you, a mother whose son has been killed. There are people that are sympathetic to what has happened. What do you want the public to do specifically?
I want the public to, number one, I'm not police bashing. That's number one, so I don't want you to take it as that, because all police officers are not bad.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay, we're here at St. Paul Church where they're having a rally in protest of the way that the killing of Terry Tillman has been conducted. And I have here Terry Tillman's mother. How are you, Mrs. Tillman? Mrs. Martin. Okay. What would you like the people to know about this case and your son?
Well, first off, with the case, they have not closed the investigation. It's going into 90 days. I have not received any callbacks from the detective that's on the case. The detective's name is Detective Robert Bates, and the Department of St. Louis County that is doing the case is called the Victims. It's called the Victims Against People Division. That's the division that's doing the investigation. So they have not contacted me. I haven't heard anything from Wesley Bell. I've been seeing Wesley Bell all around the county. He has not addressed Terry Tillman's case. So the way I feel is because he has to crucify one of his own. And he has to live up to what he said when he got into that office. So basically, the people of St. Louis County, I'm a St. Louis City resident, so I don't vote for him.
Where the killing took place where?
St. Louis County, Galleria Mile, on the
Okay.
top of the Simmons Bank parking rooftop. So that's St. Louis County. So St. Louis County citizens, you all need to figure out what you all are going to do with Wesley Bell, because he's really not going to solve, to me, any crimes against black men, women, children. He hasn't addressed me.
What would you like to see done, say, within the next week? What would make you feel better?
Well, bring my son back would be the best thing, but that's not going to happen. What would make me feel better is that he acknowledges that the investigation has been completed, and he gets in contact with me.
You mean Wesley Bell, prosecutor.
And number one, the main thing, identify the police officer. He wasn't a 50-year-old, 23-year veteran that killed my son. It was a new officer.
How do you feel about the way that your son has been framed before the media? Do you think he's been made to look like something he isn't or wasn't?
Yes.
In what way?
You pull up his past. Everybody has a past. You either grow from your past or you stay in your past. He grew from his past.
And actually, it really doesn't matter about a person's past. An officer is supposed to act based upon that situation at that moment.
Yes, and they never knew him. But once they found out who he was, then they wanted to criminalize him.
Did your son have a hatred toward police?
He didn't like
more
it.
than the average person that I've talked to?
No, he didn't have any more than the next person. He tried his best not to encounter them. He didn't bother them as long as they didn't bother him.
How do you feel about it? I have with me here another gentleman that has responded to the outcry about the shooting of Terry Tillman. We're here at the St. Paul Church in St. Louis, and we're here with another All About Cops segment. Who do we have with us?
Alderman Floyd Blackwell of Cool Valley.
Alderman Blackwell, why would you as a politician take the risk of bringing your presence here to stand by what could be called a controversial stand?
It's not a risk at all. You simply see wrong, you stand up and you say something about it. You do good things. When you see good things are done, you give them applause. When you see bad things done, you say something about it.
Do you think that since Michael Brown was killed, do you think that there's been any positive changes in police relations with the black public?
No, just the opposite. On the contrary. Here we got North County, and some of the police officers are treating the people in North County almost as second-class citizens. And there's people going to the county council meeting tomorrow to voice their displeasure about that. We're just regular tax-paying people, no different from nobody else. We want the same as anyone else. Don't treat us like second-class citizens, all right? We want police protection, not occupying force.
You know, that's a heck of a statement you just made. You said that it is worse since Michael Brown?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. What needs to be done to change things? What do the police agencies need to do? What changes need? Do we need oversight committees?
They need to vet the police officers a little bit better than they have been. You've got some police officers here that just don't seem to really care about human beings. So what if they're black? They're still working, they're still retired, they're still tax-paying human beings. Respect us like you respect your own family.
You know, after the Civil War, a lot of the Confederate soldiers who were not put in jail, a lot of those Confederate soldiers moved into the military, they moved into government, and they moved into law enforcement. Do you think, let's face the camera so we can get this.
All right.
Do you think that there is an arm of police officers today who are out there simply to usurp their authority on black people and they are racist?
Look at YouTube. Look at Facebook, look at the streaming media. The evidence is a resounding yes. I'm sorry to say it, it's a resounding yes, and it hurts because as tax-paying regular people, we care about the police. We like the police. We're there for the police. Here, how long do I have to tell you that I back the blue? It's for real, but I can't back you when you're murdering people. I care about you, but I want the same as anyone else.
Is the church doing enough? Are the pastors doing enough? A lot of people are saying the black church is turning its back on this crisis. What do you think?
Sometimes the black church needs to step up and speak up and tell it like it is. When you have police officers that have not been vetted and they have this type of behavior and they exhibit this behavior over and over again, the church has got to speak out about it. If it's economic sanctions, do it. Boycott them if you have to boycott some businesses. It's business.
Would you back a boycott against an agency that hires a corrupt police officer?
I would have no other choice but to. They would do it to me. And I got the same rights they have. It's only fair. That's what you taught me in school. And that's what I learned. I learned to be fair. So let's be fair.
The Department of Justice came into Ferguson, a city that's not far from where you're in Alderman. Next door. They came in. How has that affected policing in Cool Valley where you're in Alderman?
Okay. It's called the Ferguson effect. Now, we're policed by Normandy, and they're pretty professional and they're pretty good. No one's perfect.
So you've contracted your policing agency
with
out.
Normandy.
You disbanded your police department.
Yes, we have. We had to.
For economic reasons.
That and other reasons, we had to.
Did you have problems with the police back then? With in a racial disparity against black people?
Before there was a Ferguson, there was a Cool Valley, and I was mayor of Cool Valley 20 years ago. I can tell you all you need to know, okay? Some people, they have a big organization, and they serve themselves, and they don't give you much service to the people. So I can tell you a whole lot about police officers.
So when you hired, now you were part of hiring some cops that you say now, you probably found out later, had an agenda, a racist agenda.
A few.
What did you do about it?
I wouldn't promote them. I tried to get rid of them. I tried to give them time off when they messed up. Most of the time I was rebuffed. I did not have the support of the people around me.
Do you think that once you hire them, they're one way, and then after they have been around for a while and they get around the hardcore corruptness that they change?
They call it two-face.
Two-face?
They call it two-face. They show you one side, or their representative, and then once they get behind closed doors, you see a totally different side. Like I said, you taught us to be fair, you taught us to be honest, and that's the kind of people we really want to be. You see, we're in front of a church. We're God-fearing people. We care about each other. It don't have to be black. It don't have to be white. All lives matter, including black lives.
Alderman, I want to thank you for your honesty.
Thank you,
I
brother.
really appreciate it. Thank you.
Legal troubles don't just go away, and the attorney that you choose is your most important decision. Attorney Jocelyn Sandifer practices in Missouri and Illinois. Her law firm handles criminal defense, whether federal or state, family and domestic law, personal injury, and workman's compensation cases. Call attorney Jocelyn Sandifer at 618-489-1234. That's 618-489-1234. Don't just get an attorney, make a friend. Legal troubles don't just go away, and the attorney that you choose is your most important decision.